Hey, what's up, YouTube? You already know I'm AllCity with AllCityLiveTV.com, and thank you for tuning in. As I told you guys in the previous video, I was going to bring you the patch notes that they release soon. So here's a patch note video. But before we get into that, I do want to talk about a couple things. First, if you want to be a part of a great gaming community, non-toxic, only positive vibes, consider joining us on Discord. We would love to have you join the family. If you're looking for players to run with, you're tired of running with Randy's, come join us on Discord. We have a great gaming community that will be happy to welcome you into our family. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is that like I said in the previous video, I think 2K should be in damage control. I think they should be trying to control the damage that's been done by NBA 2K21, but it seems to be that they're not. So we're going to get into these patch notes so that I can tell you all about what's going on. And when I say that before we get into that, when I say that they were down bad, I meant that they were down bad. On Twitter, they have 3.1 million followers. As you can see up top right here, 3.1 million followers. And then when you go onto Twitch to see how many people are actually viewing, because I think that 3.1 million followers should translate into viewership for Twitch as being like the prime live stream platform for especially NBA 2K. And you got YouTube as well that are streaming content. But on Twitch, they only have 8,000, closer to 9,000 viewers. This speaks for itself. When you have a following of millions of people, but yet less than 10,000 people are actually watching on Twitch, that is horrendous. That's something to look at. And this is why I believe that 2K should be in damage control. Let's get into these patch notes because I know that's why you guys clicked on the video, but I did want to kind of get that to you guys because I'm in a stage right now where I'm trying to help you guys make a more informed decision on whether or not you want to pre-order or even purchase NBA 2K22. I want to make clear that I will be purchasing NBA 2K22, but it's not in hopes that the game, well, I do have hope that the game will be good, but I don't really believe that NBA 2K22 is going to be good, but I will purchase it so that I can relay information to you guys and help you guys make a more informed decision on whether or not you should purchase it. If you guys want to wait for that, please feel free to do so. Just make sure that you're subscribed to the channel with noties on because we would love to have you come back. All right, these updates, patch 8 for NBA 2K21, and I want to kind of break this down. There's not much to see here. And this is why I feel like 2K's arrogance is getting the best of them because they're not even preparing. Like there's no preparation for damage control and what's been done and how the player base is completely dwindling. You can't tell me that Twitch has 8.8 thousand viewers when they have millions of people on the game. And the argument I understand, listen, I get a lot of people say that the argument of like that's because a lot of people don't have next gen. But when you go to Twitch and you search up NBA 2K21, that's for current and next gen because there's no option to select either or. So you're only selecting NBA 2K21. So that's in total 8.8 thousand. So it has nothing to do with people having a next gen console. So you could dismiss that argument straight away. Let's get into these this update and these patch notes. It says here, new update is available for current gen version of NBA 2K21. This update brings a number of fixes to my team. We know that my team is the current moneymaker, and it's been a long-standing moneymaker for NBA 2K21. Well, for NBA 2K in general, we understand that. Updates to player likeness and facial animations. Who's asking for that? Help me understand. Who's asking for these player likeness and facial animations that are in every single patch note? Like every single patch there's something to do with player likeness and facial animation. This is a new thing. This was never in the patch notes until this NBA 2K21 release. They started doing these likeness and facial animation updates. I don't get it. New additions to the 2K Beach and additional fixes to improve the overall experience of NBA 2K21 across all game modes. In my opinion, my personal humble opinion, I believe that they should be focused on where the community is focused. And right now for current gen, the community is highly focused on Zens. You got players on next gen that refuse to come back to current gen despite the poor gameplay in NBA 2K21 next gen. They refuse refuse to come back to current Zen. They don't want to deal with Zens. They don't want to deal with even with all that happens in NBA 2K21 current gen. In my personal humble opinion, I feel the same thing happens in next gen without Zens. They don't even have Zens, and if they shoot as if they do, they dunk and get these contact dunk animations as if they have Zens. So it's very similar type of gameplay, except in my opinion, current gen plays a lot smoother. You do got to play with like little speed boost glitches and Zens out there, although in my opinion I'm not coming across a ton of Zens. It's just what I witness out there, and we could play defense on that stuff if you got good switch defense. But let's continue on. The new seasonal decorations in 2K Beach. The first bullet note has to do with aesthetics, and I think this is where 2K is like miscommunicating. There's something wrong, there's something missing. Somebody needs to bridge this gap, because there's a huge gap between the actual player and the development and these patches and updates and the creation of the game. There's a gap between it, because their first bullet note has to do with new seasonal decorations, and nobody really cares. We really care about gameplay, although it's a secondary thought to have, you know, a 2K update the scenery, but it's gameplay is priority for a lot of players out there. There's not players that hate the gameplay and say, damn, I wish they would have fixed the, you know, made it look nice out here. Like they rather have, people rather, at least in my opinion, people rather have the gameplay fixed before like fixing the scenery or aesthetic stuff. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's continue on. Updated another set of player likeness improvements for current NBA players. Again, they just lack damage control. I don't know what it is. Is it their arrogance that they don't want to hear the community? You guys let me know what you think, why they refuse to even acknowledge the huge problems that are plaguing NBA 2K21 on current gen that is preventing players from actually coming to the game. Can somebody inform somebody in the higher ups, like somebody inform one of the investors, that you could have more people on the game if the development team actually just addresses these problems? 2K21 on current gen has been out for months now, and they still haven't addressed the fix for Zens, and I can't understand it when it's been addressed for next gen. I know that has something to do with the firmware in the controller for next gen consoles, but they need to do something, you know, eliminate the shot timing, get rid of it or something to eliminate Zens from current gen, and you'll have a bunch more people coming back to play the game. I guarantee there'll be a ton more people leaving next gen if they eliminate Zens on current gen. My career update says keep an eye out for new events coming to 2K Beach in the coming weeks. Like, why is that in the patch notes? Patch notes means that some well, am I confused here? Is it me that's lost? Why is it that there's player likenesses and updates, improvements, you know, as far as like aesthetic stuff? Why is that in the patch notes? Help me understand why they have in the patch notes, keep an eye out for new events coming to 2K Beach in the coming weeks. That's not something that should be in patch notes, in my opinion. Maybe under like a PS at the bottom, like keep an eye out, we're gonna have this come, like in closing thoughts on these patches, maybe something like that, but not a bullet point in the patch notes, because you have nothing else that you've updated for the game mode when there's so much to fix. It ain't like they limit, there's a limit in the amount of errors that are, you know, the amount of things that are wrong for 2K. There's a huge amount of things that are wrong. Why is it we got one bullet point that's completely irrelevant to patching and updates? But anyway, let's keep going. My team, there's a lot of players on my team currently. And it says, resolve some menu issues with the mystery tier and domination. Duplicated attribute boosts or triangle and post coaches have been removed. Address the win/loss exploit in unlimited and other multiplayer modes. Made visual improvements to dark matter in certain menus. Additional preparations added for future seasons of my team. Again, it's just, they just seems, when I translate this stuff, you know, I've been on both sides, like both ends of the spectrum. I've been the worker in this stuff, and I've also been like the player in this stuff. So it's like, I can't understand. And I mean, as far as like corporate minded thinking, don't get it twisted, y'all. They see that the player bases are dwindling. Player base allows them leverage for advertising deals. That's why they really try to get the player base up. They want to tell the advertisers, listen, this is how many people are gonna see your advertisement if you advertise with us. So keep that in mind, y'all. When the player base dwindles, when the 2K community actually takes a stand like we've been doing, they scramble. So now they're completely focused on my team. It hasn't been like this. It hasn't been, I don't remember seeing patch notes that was solely and mainly focused on my team. My team was although it was always a moneymaker, it was a secondary thought when it came to patches and updates. Updates were mainly brought to you for like my career, Pro-Am, Rec, and Park. These what these patches were mainly about. And this is where the 2K community really spoke out this time. And we're really actually taking a stand, and 2K is seeing it. But instead of actually addressing the issues, it seems like they're just redirecting their focus to their main moneymaker to kind of gouge and get as much as they can from the community, the 2K community in its entirety. So they say, well, they're not making money here. We don't have time to focus or fix anything here. Let's just redirect our focus. And you can see this happening. Me personally, I could see this happening in the war room. I mean, the conference room where, like, you know, these meetings are being, like, they're taking place, and they're looking at their P&L, their profit and losses. They're looking at these reports and saying, well, you know what? We just got to redirect our focus, get as much as we can out of my team. Let's do that, because that's where the player base is. This is where we see that the players are going. So let's get as much money as we can. Everything else is left up in the air because of the way that they're approaching it. They're disregarding, and it's somewhat disrespect to me, because I'm a player that I'm a content creator and I'm a player. So it's like, I'm gonna speak my mind on what I'm experiencing with this game, because this is what I primarily play. And I think that 2K should be better prepared for NBA 2K22 and setting that up now so that they don't lose a huge, I know that they're losing them as it is. They need to do that damage control so that they don't continue to lose. By the time NBA 2K22 comes out, there's going to be a ton more players on next gen. So a ton more people, a ton more opportunities for people to purchase NBA 2K22. But in their arrogance, they're not even doing that damage control. They're not preparing for the new wave of players that are coming to next generation consoles or next generation gaming. And being that they're not prepared, it may be like bad for Park players. It may prove to be bad for Pro-Am and Rec players. We may experience a lot more of the same things that we've experienced up until this point, and that's the best way to phrase it. Hopefully this rant wasn't too much for you guys. If you guys are still there watching the video, I appreciate you. If you found this content helpful and or informative, please consider dropping a like on the video. We are gonna go live on Current Gen today, so I would love to have you guys come out and join the live stream. If you have some time, come through, say what up. We would love to have you come through. Also consider joining us on Discord. Again, a great non-toxic, positive vibes only in our Discord gaming community. Great for everyone. Consider joining us on Discord. We would love to have you. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Easy, y'all.